Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios and brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's The Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We're here with a terrific lady who's an indie film producer, immigrated to the U.S. from Russia. She's a graduate from the New York Film Academy with a BA in filmmaking, pursuing her passion, becoming an A-list Hollywood producer, and she's on her way. She did Bidding of a Drug Dealer, Sleepless, Party Girl, Alienation, Leaving, 24 Hours in Beijing, and she has a brand new film out which pays homage to the spaghetti westerns. If anybody remembers that, I mean, you got to watch a John Wayne movie sometime. And also, it's about a younger woman seeking revenge for the murder of her father at the hands of a Confederate general. Shortly after the Civil War, finding herself in a game of, well, poker. Of course, not a poker game, but it's a different type of poker. It's called the Ballad of Sadie LeBelle. We'll talk about that live, ladies and gentlemen, at Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Los Angeles. The amazing indie film producer from Russia to U.S. with love. And of course, Ballad of Sadie LeBelle. Ladies and gentlemen, multi-talented Arina Sakoun. Arina, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's great to have you on board, Arina. So you're an indie film producer who immigrated to the U.S. from Russia. You're a graduate from New York Film Academy with a bachelor's in filmmaking and pursuing your passion, becoming an A-list Hollywood producer. You also had experience with Bidding of a Drug Dealer, Sleepless, Party Girl, Alienation, Leaving, 24 Hours in Beijing, and you have a new film out called The Ballad of Sadie LeBelle, which pays homage to the spaghetti western genre and about a young woman seeking revenge for the murder of her father at the hands of a Confederate general shortly after the Civil War. And before getting to all that, Arina, tell us how I first got started.
Got started in LA.
Just going way back. How'd you first get started? Way back.
I mean, I've been writing since I was a kid, and it's always been my passion. And I wrote a lot, and then I joined like theater in school as well. So I really like performing arts and stuff like that. So I kind of wanted to do my next step was like I want to work on movies because that's kind of like the new thing, and this is really fun. And I wanted to see all of my writing kind of come to life. So I thought that LA is the best place for that. So I kind of started learning English late in school, later than most kids, but I had like very clear view of where I wanted to go. So I really put a lot of time in studying and learning. And then in 2017, I moved to the US, and I started I started New York Film Academy, and I started kind of going towards my goal, my dream.
And was it one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your career?
I think it wasn't a very like one specific moment, but I think it's people that I met along the way, because I knew I wanted to work in film and I knew I wanted to write, but I wasn't sure exactly what direction I was going when I started my school. And then I started meeting all of these people and all of these amazing teachers and all of these amazing professionals. And I realized that I looked up to so many, women as well in producing department. And I kind of was like, I want to be you when I grow up. And so I started following their advice, and I started doing kind of what they were doing and asking for mentorships and stuff like that. And I realized that I really like kind of working in that particular field.
And who are some of my favorite producers, directors, and actors, actresses, and especially movie growing up, and especially in Russia?
I think it's really hard to tell. I think that whenever people would ask like who my favorite director would be, I always say Tim Burton, because I really love stylized films and like artistic, like very specific artistic choices. And so whenever I work even in producing, obviously there's a lot of like more like organizational part involved. I love working with creative people in general and just see kind of their creative vision to come to life. And that's why I love producing, is because I see that they have a specific style, and I want that style to be realized kind of in movies and on picture. And so yeah, I think that's one of the things that I really like about creative people, is just like a specific style that they're going for.
And what is your favorite genre of movies?
I mean, I really give chance to every genre. I think every genre has its great parts about it. I think my favorite probably would be fantasy and mystery. I like also the kind of like dark fairy tale type of things, again because I really like stylized thing, and I think fantasy and like fairy tale, it gives a lot of freedom to this stylized kind of thing.
Hmm. And who are some of your favorite actors and actresses growing up, especially movies?
Yeah, it's hard because I think as a kid, I kind of saw people more as like characters rather than actors. I would almost believe that they are the characters that they play. Um, I think maybe as a kid, I was really fond of Angelina Jolie. And yeah, I feel as a kid, I had the whole phase of like watching all of the movies with her. So yeah, that's probably
Mhm.
somebody that I looked up as
What's
a kid.
what's your favorite movie with Angelina?
It depends on what age. I think that I really like Lara Croft because again, there's a lot of like it's an iconic character and there's a lot of stylization in the movies and everything like that. And then I like later on in life, I did a little modeling when I was 14, 15, and I watched the movie Gia. And I was also like, it was so beautiful and it was really sad, but I really it resonated with me a lot because I was kind of going through a lot of things with like trying to go for modeling for a little while.
Hmm. And certainly does as well too. He also made your mark in movies as well, with Bidding of a Drug Dealer, Sleepless, Party Girl, Alienation, Leaving, 24 Hours in Beijing, and you also hit it with the Ballad of Sadie LeBelle. We'll talk about that with Arina Sakoun. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SonicWeb Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international war-wearing author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has got great reviews, and evil evidence enjoys by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and Eminems. So grab your copy today. Before it goes missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com on our 40 podcast platforms. Heard in 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, Pandora, Odyssey, YouTube, BitChute, and Robo. Make sure you subscribe to those channels. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, and more as well. Take us with you on any mobile device. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, makes great gifts 24/7. Go to Amazon.com. Make sure you check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas like books, including Missing, One, Some Wrinkles, plus great gifts like t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and more, Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today and support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We're here with indie film producer, immigrated to U.S. from Russia, and a graduate of New York Film Academy, Arina Sakoun, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Before we talk about the Ballad of Sadie LeBelle, you've been in Bidding of a Drug Dealer, Sleepless, Party Girl, Alienation, Leaving, and 24 Hours in Beijing. Tell us more about those films and what inspired you to get into them.
A lot of those films were I was invited as a recommendation from different people, and I was kind of wanted to work on as many projects as possible to gain experience and kind of start like understand what my style of producing is and everything. So I was really lucky to meet all of the people that I worked with on those films. And yeah, I mean, you know, each film gave me new perspective on like what it's like to be a producer and was like working with different people and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it's Party Girl was also written by me as well. So that was, you know, especially the important project for me. Yeah, so and then after that, you know, every other project kind of started coming in as well. I made a lot of good friends, a lot of you know, important connections, I guess, and people invited me again. I still get invited now, so my future projects as well. So yeah, I'm really excited. Some of them are also starting festival runs as well, pretty soon. So there's a lot of work that has been done and is to be done still.
Mhm. Now, is this your first time, running these films in the film fest? Have you done them before? And where did you place if you'd been in the film fest?
So, for the 24-hour in Beijing, it actually did already go through the festivals, and we actually won an award and a couple nominations. So that's really excited. It's one of the older projects. As for the other projects, we some of them are going through festivals right now. Some of them haven't yet, and they're about to start. Obviously, like the Ballad of Sadie LeBelle just started the festival run, so that's my current kind of priority in terms of festivals. But yeah, I've been very busy, because I've been trying to work as much as possible, and I've been getting a lot of work, so I haven't had the chance to go physically to many festivals. But definitely for certain projects, I'm excited to see where it's going, and hopefully next year I'll be able to like physically go and visit festivals already.
And of course, another candidate for the fest as well too. Your latest, The Battle of Sadie LaBelle. Basically, it's a new film paying homage to the spaghetti western genre and about a young woman seeking revenge for the murder of her father at the hands of a Confederate general shortly after the Civil War. And tell us more about that film and what inspired you to get started on that project.
So this was the debut project for the director, and he invited me to work on it. And it was just a really exciting project. And in fact, there were so many people. There was talk going on in our school about that project, and within our circle about this project. There were so many people who wanted to be a part of it. So I feel so incredibly lucky that I was invited to produce this project. It was a lot of work, but we really, really pulled it off, which I'm so proud of, myself and the director and everybody involved in this project. It came up to look so amazing and to sound so amazing, and it's just the acting, everything was so great. And it's so rare to see period pieces shot in this kind of format, and especially spaghetti western. It's kind of already almost a forgotten genre. So for the director, it was especially like a passion type of thing. So I feel like we really did a good job of paying homage to the genre. And yeah, I'm really excited for more people to see it now that it's on festivals. I honestly have so much faith in it because I know it's gonna do amazing.
What attracted you to the spaghetti western genre? That was like big in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. It kind of just leveled off, and then Clint Eastwood, I think he had a couple that kind of just came back forward. Now it's like on Paramount. I think was it Tombstone, Yellowstone. I think there was also quite a few. So what attracted to you, and what are some of the qualities that really attract you to spaghetti westerns?
I think that it is, once again, it's a very stylized thing. It's wardrobe and it's location and it's so many things. And it was definitely a first like a project that was a period piece for me at the time. So it was kind of challenging for me, and I really was so excited to take on that challenge. And it came out even better than we expected. And so I definitely was excited because it was a period piece and because it was so stylized, and to work with a specific type of acting and specific type of props that were specific for the period piece. And it was supposed to be, it wasn't supposed to be about like how American Western is. It was supposed to be specifically spaghetti Western. So we were paying homage to the Italian people making Westerns. So it was really fun. It was so specific. And the creative parts of it was like, we wanted to make it very, very authentic.
That's really interesting. And you threw the Italians in there as well, too. It's just like, we made this or something. It's like we think those Americans. I think you kind of started a war on that one. So
It was I was talking to the director recently, and he said that while working on sound for this film, he made sure that he would put it was such a small detail that most people would not notice, but he put like a background sound of a bird at some point of the film. And that bird is very specific to a part in Italy. So that bird does not live in United States. They don't, it's not a natural habitat for that bird. It's very specific to an area in Italy. So, and they put it there intentionally because it's supposed to be kind of like it was shot in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
And there are
Right.
many details like that.
Mm-hmm. And it does sound like a really good one too. And another one I thought of was like, what was it? 310 to Human. That was kind of another one as well too. And of course, what are some of your favorite spaghetti Western movies that you saw or you're planning on seeing?
Um, I can't really name many of my favorite. I feel like to be honest, I wasn't looking to I wasn't necessarily a fan of spaghetti Western genre up until I started making the movie, because that's why it was so challenging for me. I was interested in making the movie, so I wasn't necessarily looking um at it as in like, oh, I've been watching this genre for so long and now I want to make it my own. It was really like, oh, now I have to do so much research because I know nothing about it. So I can't really say about my favorite stuff, because honestly my favorite is this movie, because I made it and I worked on it, and so this is my favorite spaghetti Western, really.
Mm-hmm. And of course, it's about a young woman seeking revenge for the murder of her father at the hands of a Confederate general shortly after the Civil War, and of course, finding herself in a game of poker. So, tell us more about that aspect.
So that was a very another kind of challenge that we had, because it was a very specific game of poker, and there was a lot of continuity involved. So we spent a lot of time figuring out exactly how the game went. And even though for most people who would watch the movie, you can't even tell really what's going on. People don't pay attention to the cards. Obviously, they pay attention to the actors and the dialogue and everything else. But for us, it was really important to keep up with the continuity. So we had this very specific game going on. We wrote everything down. We planned who puts how many cards at what point and what it meant. We needed to find a person who knows something about poker, who knows how to play it, who can map out exactly the plan of what people do, and also corresponding with their characters and how much they know about poker. So, it's such a small detail, because obviously what really matters in the story is not the game of poker itself, but we put a lot of thought into it, and there was a lot of planning and work that went into it.
Hmm. And of course, there's a lot of intrigue as well too. Getting revenge, almost like your typical spaghetti western. Like Clint Eastwood, John Wayne, and all the others as well too. And of course, you think about spaghetti westerns and more and everything else. And of course, we're talking about poker a little bit. Have you ever played poker?
I have a couple times. It was more like people trying to teach me how to do it. So I was definitely not the one figuring out like exactly the game. I was trying to help and I was observing it. Which, I have so much respect for people who were doing it, because it seemed really complicated. I'm not very good at it. I probably tried maybe twice. But that's about it.
Mhm. I'll give you a little tip. Bluff on a pair of twos. I'll tell you that. Go all in and just bluff the heck out of it. So you never know what you'll win. So
I'll take the tip.
and of course, having all these films, you're looking to be like an A-list Hollywood producers. What Hollywood producer are you looking to be like or be similar, or kind of like maybe take a style or two? It's just like who are some of the A-list Hollywood producers that you admire, you want to be like, or maybe just take bits and pieces of what they do and inform your own style.
Yeah, I really want to meet people in person, because it's really hard to tell, we see the work, but we don't know exactly what their process is. And for me, I love uh I guess my personal style is that I want people to be able to realize their vision, obviously, and I want people that the whole entire team to be happy with their work and with the conditions of work and how they work on set. So I do really want to meet more people. So far, I'm looking up to people, not necessarily the famous producers, but people who I have met. you know, people who I have worked with on set, because those are the people whose work I've seen, and those are the people I can really learn from, because it's really hard to see the work of people that, you know, you see their name on the screen in the beginning of the movie, but you don't know exactly what they did and how they did it and what their process was.
And of course, you certainly learn from the best. And of course, the Ballad of Sadie LeBelle is out right now. Where can we find your film and all your works at, Arina?
So Sadie LaBelle, it just started the festival run. So, you know, you would see it in the festival. If you ever go to any of the festivals that is screening it, I'm excited for you to see it. It's not anywhere out in a public access just yet. Actually, in fact, most of the movies, because they're either still going through some festivals or just finished it, it's kind of hard to find a public access of it. There's a lot of projects that are about to be released and are soon to be released, but nothing specifically that, you know, you can just find in easy access. But I'm excited because a lot of the things are going to be on festivals and hopefully soon released on streaming as well.
Okay, we'll certainly check those out. What's coming up in 2023 for Arina Sakoun? We'll find out just 1 minute. Listen to the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios, and brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mia Molson's The Missing. We'll be back with the multi-talented indie film producer of The Ballad of Sadie LeBelle, Arina Sakoun, after this time out. We're back at indie film producer from the Ballad of Sadie LeBelle, Arina Sakoun, here on the Mike Wagner Show. In just a few more minutes, Arina, what else can we expect from you in 2023 and beyond?
So as the Ballad of Sadie LaBelle entered its festival run, I was just so excited to hear back from Rodrigo Quesada, the director of the Ballad of Sadie LaBelle, and he invited me on this new project, which is, you know, bigger and just so much more complicated, but also so exciting. And it's called Operation Flower Bed.
Oh, nice.
And it is now, again, it's a period piece, but this time it's in the 70s. And it's Charlie's Angels inspired pilot of a show. And you know, I'm just so excited to work on it. It's action filled, inspired by Charlie's Angel TV series. So it's kind of like, you know, it's in the 70s, so it's disco balls, bell bottoms, vibrant
and
colors.
Farrah Fawcett being famous. That's another one Charlie's Angels made big. Farrah, that was a big F word. So.
Yeah, and so it's really exciting because, you know, all of these vibrant colors and big hair, and, you know, in the midst of it all is the femme fatale spy women saving the world. It's so incredibly fun to conceptualize everything, and we're working on pre-production right now, but it's just so exciting because we're going to be working on it, you know, late this year, next year as well. And it's as well, I know that it's just the beginning, because we're planning to, this is kind of the first step of even bigger projects. So Operation Flowerbed is just something that I'm really looking forward to, and we already started work on, and there's a lot of work ahead.
And we're certainly looking forward to it as well, too, especially the rebirth of Charlie Angels. You never know. And who do you consider biggest influence in the career, Arina?
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
I'm sorry. Who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
It's hard to pinpoint one person. I think I take bits and pieces from every person I really meet. I think that a really big inspiration for me was actually one of my teachers from New York Film Academy, and she's such an amazing woman, and she's such a hardworking woman, and she really inspired me to try producing, because at the time it was more so in the beginning of my career at NYFA, and I wasn't sure. I felt like producing was too much work for me almost, and that it was like, you know, so much. But she really showed that it's a very interesting work, and she showed me all of the beauty of it, and she inspired me so much. I really looked up to her. So you know, it's not like a celebrity type of figure, but I really think that she was probably the first person that made me think, wow, I kind of want to do this, and I believe that I can do that.
That certainly does sound interesting. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
I think that the best advice, something that I've learned for myself as well recently, is to always be proactive about everything. If you ever want anything, try anything you can think of trying, and that's the only way to reach your goals. Just waiting around for anything will never bring you closer to your goal. It's always being proactive.
And that's a very good point indeed as well. We're here with the multi-talented indie film producer from Russia with love over the U.S., Arina Sakoun of the Ballad of Sadie LeBelle here on the Mike Wagner Show. Arina, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. Once again, what's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your works?
So you can obviously check out my Instagram, which is arina.sakoun. And I mean, you can definitely check out many festivals which my movies are going to be into. You can contact me through my email, which you can find on my Instagram as well. So I would be happy to collaborate with people if anybody wants to collaborate with me. And yeah, I'm excited for you guys to see more films made by me.
Sounds great. We'll certainly check that out. Once again, Arina, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love having you back. Wish you all best. And Arina, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.